Now, what time would you normally start a day?
The day starts here at about 6:30 in the morning.
Okay. And you're pretty much dependent on tides, aren't you?
Tides mean a lot. Right now we're on mid tide, so everybody's heading home. Nobody wants to get caught out here at low tide.
So this is referred to as oyster fishing or oyster digging?
We've already covered that.
Oh, you have?
We've always called it oyster fishing. Certain people will call it tonging or raking,
Okay.
but we've always known it as to be oyster fishing on Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
So depending on where you're from, it could be named many different
I was
things.
just laughing, so I was telling my grandmother that we were oyster fishing. She's like, dear, we don't call it oyster fishing. It's oyster digging
Oyster
or
digging?
oyster picking.
So oysters that are coming out of Salutation Cove are a premium oyster?
Premium oyster, higher quality, pure oyster, cleaner. The oyster filters, I think, 7 gallons of water a day, which is a lot of water to go through an oyster in a day. So when you have it surrounded by this marshland, it makes a very pure water, so you have a very pure, clean oyster.
So do I hold them?
Out this way here. I want to put you over. I'll show you what I want you to do. Now wiggle them together. Yeah. The winds are supposed to be quite strong this afternoon.
Really?
There she goes. Up on the map. We're going to hold them up. Put them right in there. They're locked.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Go?
And you pretty much let go. You don't want them to kick out of there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Those are all natural. They're born and raised here. This particular area, like look at this tiny little shell, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baby oysters on it, on one shell. And those there will just snap off. See? Now we have single oysters, and you just snap them apart. Well, I mostly wear gloves, but and once they're all apart, then you got all single babies, and they grow, finish. Then it's time, once they hit the 3-inch mark, there's time to take them into the plant and process them.
Okay, well, why don't we head off into the plant and see how you process them and maybe taste a couple of oysters.
Let's
Would that
do
be
that.
okay? Okay, great.
Hi, come on in. Nice to meet you. Hi, come on in. Come on in. Welcome to Future Seafoods. This is a nice choice shape with the deep cup round shape, and we can turn it over and we see again the nice deep cup and the round shape. And then on the other side of it we have a standard oyster. This oyster would taste the same. It would have beautiful meat in it. The only difference being, you note that it's kind of curved on the end. It doesn't have quite a deep cup, and it's not as nice of shape. So that's the first thing that we get done, is the oysters get graded according to shape. Okay.
Good.
After they're graded according to shape, they would be graded for size. Now, in a choice shape, we grade into 4 sizes. We grade into small choice, medium choice, large choice, and a fancy choice, depending upon the length to the width ratio. This would be a large choice because it would be 3.5 inches from there to there, and it would be 2.25 inches from there to there across. In a standard oyster, the meat is generally a little thinner and they don't have quite a long shelf life. Okay?
So is that good? No.
That's perfect. And you sort of just start off, wash this side, and then you flip it over
really?
and wash the back side.
I thought it'd be more
Okay.
complicated than that. So is there anything that you want to get off in particular, or it's just to
No,
get some off?
you're just trying to get off any mud or dirt, so that when the customer receives them, they get a nice clean oyster. If you look at an oyster, you're going to see a spot where right at the very point, right at the very tip, where the two shells are, joined there. So that's your pivot point. That's your first point. So the way that I shuck is I'll take my clean towel here, and I put my oyster, and then I'm just sticking my knife in between the two shells, and I'm wiggling it to break that seal. Then I'm taking the oyster and I'm sliding my knife along the bottom of the top hinge. And the reason I'm trying to sever the adductor muscle that holds the two shells together. Okay? Then what I do is I take my oyster knife and I need to sever that muscle on the bottom. Okay? Some people go like that. Depends what you're comfortable with and what you're used to. And now that oyster, plump and juicy, full of liquor, is waiting to be devoured. And which one of you people would love a Rocky Bay oyster?
I'm 58 years old and I've never had a raw oyster. It's actually very good. It's actually very good.